Have you tried a pork ribeye before? Steak night doesn't need to cost a fortune anymore, and here's a great substitute for an end of the month dinner. Unlike pork chops that can be very lean and dry out easily, pork ribeye has a bit more marbling and fat content, which leaves a bit more room for error. And the best part is, it's about half the price of your beef ribeye. In keeping with the dinner theme on a tight budget, I've decided to use things that were just lying around. We got some courgettes and baby corn from the fridge, some not so fresh dhania, these half-used peppers, onions and lemon offcuts from another video, one lonely sweet potato, some honey, and some leftover Thai takeaway dipping sauce. These ingredients are screaming out sweet and sour pork with stir-fry veg, so that's what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna start with the sweet potato because that's gonna take the longest to cook. Nothing too extravagant here, just a bit of salt and some dried herbs, and we're gonna pop it in the oven at about 180 degrees. It should take about 20 to 25 minutes. While I'm chopping my veg, I've taken the steaks out the fridge to come up to room temperature. This is a little chef's tip for you. It helps the meat cook more evenly and develop a better crust. We're going to make the basting sauce using all of these ingredients. Now I'm not quite sure what exactly is in this Thai dipping sauce. I got it with some takeaway about a month ago, but I like the flavor profile and I think it'll work quite well with this dish that I'm going for. Just going to add a bit of crushed ginger and garlic to round out the flavor. I'm just using salt on these steaks because we're going to rely on that basting for the flavor. Just remember, we're only going to use the basting sauce once we've pan fried it and got a nice crust on it. Otherwise the honey will burn. We're just looking to get a nice crust here, not cooking it all the way through. We will do that step in the oven. I'm quite happy with how these crusts turned out. That's the advantage of having it at room temperature and also having the steaks nice and dry before you put them in a pan. Now we're going to baste the steaks and finish cooking it in the oven along with the sweet potatoes. Remember to turn it and baste it about every 5 minutes or so to allow for even cooking and the sauce to penetrate. This should take no more than 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how cold the steak was when you started with it. We're cooking the stir fry last because it goes quickly. Remember, high temperature and cook in batches. If you overload the pan, the temperature drops and the veggies end up boiling. Just adding a bit of crushed ginger and garlic and some soya sauce for a bit more flavor, along with some chopped dhania to add a bit more freshness to it. Just like other steaks, remember to rest the meat after you've cooked it and before you cut into it. It allows for the meat to finish its cooking more evenly and also for the juices to not spill out as soon as you cut it open. Trust me, it makes all the difference. I think this cross section here just perfectly proves my point. And then a nice, clean, simple plating. You don't need to overcomplicate the plating to make it look nice. Just using up the last of that basting sauce to give it a little bit more flavor, and also it just looks nicer with it on it. A perfect steak night dinner at about half the price that you would have paid for a ribeye steak. This one is definitely worth a try.